Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Welcome back to chapter 3, okay, quantitative demand analysis. So this is the part 3 or the last part, yeah, in which in this video we are going to learn about how to obtain elasticity from demand functions, and I will explain to you a little bit on what we call as regression analysis. Okay, so first, okay, this is a revisit of linear demand functions that we have learned in chapter 2. Okay, so this is the linear demand functions, remember, okay, where we have this alpha 0, alpha x, px, alpha y, py, okay, and so on. Alright, so how we can obtain or calculate elasticity from these linear demand functions, right? Okay, let me take out my pen first. Okay, so this is the formula. Okay, we have own price, cross price, and income elasticity. Okay, all derived from these linear demand functions. Okay, so if you look at this formula, okay, the own price elasticity, the formula is alpha x, okay, multiplied by px over qx. Okay, px is price of x and qx is the quantity. So if you look to all these three formula, all the denominator is the same, the qx and qx. What is different is the alpha. Okay, for own price you take the alpha x. Okay, you see here, this is the alpha x. For qy, okay, you take this one, the alpha y, okay, and for the qm, right, okay, sorry, for the alpha m, right, we take this here, yeah, from this in the function. Okay, another one is the the numerator. Okay, for own price elasticity we take the px, for the cross price we take the py, for the income of course we take the m. Where we get all this value is from this function. Okay, we have px here, we have py here, we have income here. Okay, let us look at the illustration, okay, to see it clearer. Okay, let's say that you are given this demand function, yeah. So remember, this is the alpha x, okay, this is the alpha 0, this is the alpha y, okay, but now we have the value, okay, and not only the value of the alpha, you are also given the value of px, yeah, $25. Good y sells at 35, meaning that this is the price of y. And then we have advertising here, and then we have income 20,000. Okay, so if you are asked to calculate own price, cross price, and income, yeah, then what is the step? Yeah, remember the formula just now. Okay, all the formula they have this one, the denominator, the quantity of x. So how we can get the qx? Remember, actually we have done this in chapter 2. Okay, what we need to do is just substitute the value, okay, given here. Okay, so this is the value of px, this is the value of py, and this is the value of m, and this is the value of advertising, yeah, the PA, right? So we take all the value here, okay, and then we calculate, we get 65 units. So this is where we get all the 65 years as the denominator. And if we want to calculate the own price elasticity, then this is the alpha x, remember, and 25 here is the px. 4 here is the alpha y, okay, and this is the py. This is alpha m, and this is the value of m. So this is alpha value. Go back to this function just now, okay, alpha x -3, alpha y 4, alpha m is -0.01. So you put all the values here, okay, then you can easily calculate the elasticity. So you see in the demand function actually is easier, yeah, because you can calculate all types of elasticity just by using one, okay, demand function, provided that you have all the values here. Okay, so how we want to read the numbers here, the value here, For own price elasticity, remember, okay, recall back in the part 1, we always have negative value, yeah, because the alpha is negative, yeah, and it is because of the law of demand. Okay, so we always have the negative value, so we just concern with the absolute value. The absolute value is 1.15, which is larger than 1, yeah. Okay, so this is why we say here the demand is elastic, right? So for cross price elasticity, the value is 2.15. Okay, for cross price, we don't say that the demand is elastic or inelastic, but cross price is to look the relationship between X and Y. So here, because the elasticity is positive, okay, so X and Y are substitutes. Okay, you don't look whether it's bigger or lesser, no, right? We just look at the sign here. For the income, right, we get the negative value, right, because the alpha is negative here. So, okay, remember, income elasticity is just to determine whether X is either inferior or normal good. So, because the elasticity here is negative, so X is inferior good. Yeah, so it's very simple actually if you understand how to apply the formula. Okay, so all right, this is multiple choice question. All right, so how you want to solve this, how you want to calculate, okay, the own price elasticity of demand. So the question asks for the own price elasticity. So what we need to do, the step is, number 1, you need to find the Q. Okay, remember how to find the Q? Okay, this is the function, right? These are all the value. So you have to substitute all the values, and then you should get what is the value of Q. Okay, and then identify which alpha. Okay, this is the formula for the own price. Okay, so the alpha should be the alpha X. So you see where the alpha X. Okay, so this is PX, so this should be the alpha X. Yeah, and then identify the numerator value. Numerator for the own price should be the PX. So this is the PX. Okay, you look. Okay, here is the PX. Okay, the value of PX. So after you identify all this, you substitute all the value into this formula, right? And then you should get the answer. Yeah, you should try. Okay, and you should get the answer negative 0.21. Yeah, so try and to calculate, make sure that you get this answer. Okay, for this one, alright, I just change to other elasticity. Last time we have okay, own price, cross price, income. Okay, but we also can have advertising elasticity. Okay, but I give no example last time. Yeah, so if we use the demand function here, right, similar. Okay, what you need to do is, even though I don't give you the formula of advertising elasticity, but if you understand the trend already, the formula should be, okay, advertising, alpha, alpha A stands for advertising, multiplied by the advertising value, and then the value of the quantity. Yeah, so here, right, how you want to know the quantity? Okay, just substitute all the value given here. Yeah, next, remember the second step, you know which alpha. Yeah, so here, okay, what is the alpha? Okay, what is the alpha? Okay, the alpha should be equal to 1. Yeah, because we don't put like 1A, we don't put the 1, we just put A. So here the alpha is actually 1. And then what is the value of A here? Is given here 50. Yeah, so again, you go to the 3 steps, you identify all the values, then you should be able to get the answer. Okay, and the answer here is D. Yeah, so you try, okay, and get the answer 0.52. Alright, so this is a structural question, yeah, exercise. Actually it's the same, right? But you have all these three questions to answer. You are given the demand, the linear demand function, and you are given the value of pz here, right? So look carefully at the question. What is the own price elasticity when px is 1/5 140? Yeah, okay. And then you get the answer. You have to answer, is it elastic or inelastic? Okay. And what will happen if the firm's revenue decide to charge price below 140? Okay, and so on. Okay, so below 140 means you want to decrease the price here, and then this answer is related to this second answer, whether it is inelastic or elastic. Yeah, so this is basically related to own price elasticity that I have explained to you in part 1. Yeah, and the second one, what the question change is the price here. Instead of 140, the px now is 250, and then the question is the same: is it elastic or inelastic? What will happen if the firm decide to charge price above 240? Yeah, so every time when the px is changed, you have to recalculate the quantity, okay, and go to the 3-step, find the q, identify the denominator. Denominator of course is the q, and find which one is the alpha, okay, and then identify the numerator value. Yeah, similar for c, but for c it is for cross price. Yeah, and then you have to decide whether good x and z are substitute or complementary. Okay, so I just give you the answer here, and I want you to do on your own. Yeah, so these are the answer for A. Okay, but I just give you the value. Yeah, from this value you have to decide, okay, whether this is elastic or inelastic, and then what will happen if the firm charge below 140. Below 140 meaning that the firm reduce the price. Okay, the second one, the answer is this. So you have to decide, is this elastic or inelastic? And then what will happen if the firm charge above, okay, this price, meaning that they increase the price. Okay, and this is the cross price. Okay, when price is 140, so again you have to follow the steps. You should get this as the answer, and then you determine whether x and y substitute or complementary given this value. Okay, so don't forget to try. Alright, the exercise 10, right? This one is actually a final exam question, example of final exam question. Of course, it's clear that from this question, the question is about elasticity, and they ask about income elasticity. So what you need to do is, okay, what is this? 0.7. Oh, this is the elasticity value, income elasticity value. Yeah, national income is better. Okay, income declined by 3%. So you have to identify. Okay, so this is what percentage change in income. Yeah, so when the question asks what should you do with your stock inventory, so the question actually asks you what is the percentage change, okay, in quantity. So because this is percentage change in income, right? Okay, so again, after you understand what the question want, you know, okay, which formula you want to apply. In this case, which formula? Okay, of course, if you have the percentage change in income, you have the elasticity here, you should use formula number 1, right? Okay, so this is the answer for question number 10, right? Okay, the first one, the quantity of the stock should be reduced by 2.25. Okay, sales, of course, similar with the first one. Okay, decreased by 2.25. This one, you have to recalculate because the question changed the percentage change in income to 5%. Yeah, so this is the answer. Yeah, so I want you to go through. Okay, try to answer exercise number 10. Okay, so answer is given here. Okay, next one. This one exercise related to the demand function, but this is more on I give you simple application, exercise in which you are given this demand function for this travel agency services, and then you are given all this information. So you should identify what is 450, what is this 40, what is this 3000, what is this 20,000. Okay, and then calculate own price elasticity of demand at these values. Okay, so the question here is calculate the own price elasticity. Okay, so the answer, how many? The answer is only one answer. Okay, most of the time the student give me 3 answers, okay, which is wrong. If you give me 3 answers, meaning that you don't understand the question, because the question only asks you own price elasticity, not the gross price, not the income elasticity. Okay, so just calculate 1. Alright, and then from the answer A, and then you determine, is it elastic, is it inelastic, or is it unitary elastic. Okay, and for C, okay, you have to recalculate if the price of Y increases to 50. 50 meaning, okay, when we say increase to 50, meaning that 50 is the new price. Yeah. If the word says price of Y, if the price of Y increase by 50, then the new price will be 50 plus 40. So you should be able to differentiate between to and by. Alright, so for this exercise 11, again, you should try before our class. You have to show your working, basically. If we talk about structural question, then this is the answer for A, and then you should understand why we say that the demand is inelastic based on A answer, and then this is the answer for C. Okay, so please try this question too. Okay, the next one is on the regression analysis. Okay, this one is actually for your knowledge. Yeah, so we have actually learned, right, about the demand function, and we have all the values for and then 220, all those things, right? So how actually the information on the demand function is obtained, right? So actually this is where in business, okay, maybe you learn in your marketing about market research. Yeah, for business, okay, for be able to do planning, to do estimation, okay, they have to conduct some market research actually. Yeah, so market research is actually the process or the activity to get information, and where we can get information from, we can get from what we call as secondary data and also primary data. Maybe you have learned this in your statistics class. Okay, so secondary data is like published studies. Okay, you can get from the website, you can get from the government reports. Yeah, and you can get also from your own, from the business own records. Yeah, and sometimes, okay, if you don't have the expertise, and the business also can hire the consultant. Yeah, so all this information we can run statistical technique that we call as regression analysis. Okay, let us look at this example. Okay, this is SPSS software. We call this as SPSS. Maybe you have heard this, I don't know. Yeah, if you're good in SPSS, actually you can be a research assistant. Yeah, so this SPSS is a software where later we have to key in all the values here. If you, I think you may have experienced answering survey, right? In which you have to answer on a Likert scale. Let's say I am happy with the product. Yeah, so you have to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, from the 1 scale strongly disagree to the 5th scale strongly agree, right? So this is where your answer, your response will be key in. If you answer 5, then we key in 5. If you answer 4, we key in 4, and so on. So all this actually is the data or the information. If we get this information from survey, it means that the data is being obtained from what we call as primary data. Okay, so under this SPSS, we can analyze, okay, all the information obtained. Right, this is the function. Okay, we can choose regression here, and then we run. Yeah, we run and we can get the result. Yeah, so I'm going to show you shortly how the result look like. Okay, but before that, okay, this is what we call as regression line. Yeah, in which okay, if you learn statistic, you know the population, and from the population we can get the sample. Yeah, and this is an example of regression model. Y is the dependent variable and X is the independent variable. A is the constant. Okay, and then E is error. Error means in our estimation there will always be error. Yeah. Okay, let us see. Okay, this is when I run the regression just now. This is example of output that we can obtain, yeah, from the computer. Normally, if you go for postgraduate studies, you may embark on this. Yeah. All right. For this example, okay, if you see, right, remember our demand function. This is actually how it looks like. Okay, this is our alpha 0 and this is actually our alpha 1. So this is to show you that the demand function just now can be obtained if you have the raw data. Okay, even though what you are given previously is just the hypothetical data, but actually in the real business this data can be obtained, right? So here, okay, you see where I get this number, okay, actually from this result. This intercept is actually the value of alpha constant, and this is the alpha value for px, yeah, negative 2.6. Yeah, so this is the alpha 1. Yeah, if we look at the demand function that we learned previously. Alright, so this is basically more on the statistic. Remember that when you learn statistic last time, you have accept hypothesis, reject hypothesis, right? Okay, you have 95% confidence interval, you have 98% confidence interval. Yeah, so these are all actually the statistical part. Okay, so this one is on the estimation. Alright. Okay, it's okay. Okay, this one is on if we want to check whether the model is good. Right. Okay, I want to explain or go straight to this one. Okay, so this is what we call as multiple regression. You see here, this multiple regression is exactly like how we see the demand function looks like. Yeah, the linear demand function. Yeah, so this is also similar to the multiple regression model. Yeah, so here you can put any variables actually, yeah, that we think will influence this Q. Yeah, in this case, we have price of X, we have income, we have price of H. Okay, but we can have more actually. All right, so I just want to show you, okay, because just now we have only price, but now we have three things. Okay, we have the price, we have advertising, and we have distance. Okay, so wait. Alright, okay, so it should here appear here. Okay, so if you look into this result, yeah, you can write function where the qx equal to, okay, intercept is our constant 135.15, and then we have the price here negative, this is alpha x 0.414, and then px, okay, and then we have advertising plus 0.54. okay, you take 0.54 from this one, yeah, and then A stand from advertising, and then we have another one negative, okay, it should be continue here, but I continue down here, okay, 5.78, and we have distance, you know, distance. This is example of any variable that I said just now. You can put in your model. Yeah, so this is our demand function for this particular example. Yeah, so what is important here, okay, you learned in your statistic last time. Okay, remember that the t value is there is three value here, 1.64, okay, 1.96 and 2.57. Okay, I just want to show that if you get anything larger than this value, this t value, okay, then we say that that variable is significant. Significant means that it is important. This variable affect, okay, this demand or this quantity significantly. Yeah. So if you look between these three value, okay, you see that 2.41. Yes, it is larger than all this value. I mean larger than 1.96, even though it's smaller than 2.57. Okay, 4.61 also is larger, okay, than 2.57, meaning that it's very significant. And advertising is only 0. So meaning that it's smaller than any of this value here. So advertising is not significant. So I want to tell you on how this information is important to help the business to make decision. Yeah, what does it mean here is the price is significant in influencing the demand for this product. Okay, and the relationship is negative. Yeah, it should be negative because as the price fall, okay, the quantity will be more. Okay, and you can calculate actually the elasticity from here as well. Yeah, if we get the value of px, the value of ax, and the value of d. Okay, but to show that if it is significant, meaning the price play an important role in influencing the quantity in a reverse direction. Yeah, and if you look into the other one which is significant is distant. Yeah, distant. So negative value means, okay, when your distance increase, okay, the quantity will be lesser. So that's why I suspect that this example is example of retail businesses. Yeah, in which when we talk about offline retail businesses, the far you are actually, okay, the demand of that consumer will reduce, right? Because basically when we talk about retailing, that's why location is very important variable. Yeah, so this give evidence that the distance, okay, how far the business is from the consumers will affect the demand of that particular consumers. Yeah, but that's why in terms of strategy you have to find location which is convenient, which is nearer, yeah, to the target market. But if you look into advertising, okay, the value here is positive, meaning that if you increase advertising, the quantity also will increase. But okay, the value here is not significant. Yeah. So what does it mean? Yeah, your advertisement is not playing a very important role. It affects your business positively, but it's not that significant. Okay, so if you know this finding, if you get this finding, it gives you the insights that what if you want to give the recommendation, it means that you don't have to spend so much on the advertisement. Yeah, because even though the advertisement give you positive impact, but the impact is not very significant, it's very little. Yeah, so you can spend but not too much. All right, so in this way the business will save its resources on something which is important. Yeah, all right, so this is how we can derive the demand function and how we can use the information to make better decision. Yeah, so this is the example just now. Yes, so this is raw data that we have to key in. Okay, I've shown you the function of where you can actually run, okay, from the computer. Okay, this is just example where this is a different software, just to show you that there are many softwares nowadays, yeah, that we can use to help us, okay, with a demand estimation. Yeah, because in business demand estimation is one of the important thing that we need to do. Yeah, because when we can estimate the demand, we can do other planning. Yeah, for example, like we can plan for the production, we can demand for the staffing, yeah, we can demand for inventories and so on. Yeah. Alright, so these are among the importance of understanding demand function, understanding elasticity. Alright, so in conclusion, elasticities are tools that you can use to quantify, because in chapter 2 we cannot quantify the changes, Alright, and then if you have the survey data, the data just now, whether it is secondary or primary, we can run the regression analysis. We can estimate all these values. Okay, and the important thing is when we can quantify, when we can obtain the data, okay, we can measure the impact of changes in price, income, and advertising. Okay, the end things or the main purpose is actually, again, if we remember back what is managerial economics, okay, it is to help the managers to make better decision making. Right? Okay, so with this, okay, congratulations, you have complete chapter 3. Alright, so I hope you revise again our part 1, part 2, and part 3. Right, do the exercise, and if you have any questions, you can ask me later in the live section. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.